But I'll tell you, I found this only because I was using the method that I'm going to describe in this video. What we do in this channel is we make off-road trail guides. We absolutely love making those. That's what we want to do on this channel. Now, I do not consider myself an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer. I actually operate that thing right there behind me. That is my job. That's what pays for this channel. However, this video was supposed to be an updated how to find trails video, and it ends up being a OnX versus Trails Off-Road video. Unfortunately, that's just how it came about. So what I'm gonna do is provide updated information on this one so that you guys can actually figure it out for yourself, which one is the better software. I will give you some of my opinions on it. I will also show you how I use the software while I'm out on the trail. All right, guys, let's talk about fins and things. On the screen right now, of course, is the fins and things info, which I'll do for all these trails. But what I want to talk about using fins and things is high quality trail information. Now, fins and things is a featured trail of OnX, but it's not just a regular trail of Trails Off-Road. And if you look at the two information, you're gonna see you get way better information from Trails Off-Road on fins and things. Like, you actually get to see what the trail is like before doing it. That's especially important when I take something like my brand new Jeep Wrangler TJ, which is on 30.5-inch tires. Yeah, 30.5-inch tires, is completely stock. I want to know exactly what that trail entails for that Jeep or my Liberty. I did watch the OnX build series on their YouTube channel. I thought it was amazing. I'm a big fan of a lot of those creators, but I was pretty frustrated when I heard OnX said,
"You can see how challenging Moab Rim is by using the 3D terrain feature on the OnX Offroad app. OnX not only gives you the location of the trail, but this 3D feature allows you to run the trail virtually before you leave the trailhead, allowing you to plan your route and survey obstacles."
That they show you the trail as you're doing it. They show you where the obstacles are, something along those lines. They said that in their video, and I was like, I've checked OnX and I have yet to see that. And so looking at fins and things, there is no information about the different obstacles there. But I dug a little bit deeper and I went into Poison Spider and Moab Rim, and I saw that on their map, on their OnX map, they have little icons for the obstacles. Great, but this is the same stuff you get on Fun Treks books in their maps, so you're really not getting anything special from OnX. There is no information about those obstacles. I tried finding it. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I dug into both Moab Rim and Poison Spider trying to find information about those obstacles, about what's in there, and couldn't find anything except an icon on a map. Something that I've had with Fun Treks books for years. So to me, why would I want to look at an OnX map with icons when I can actually look at Trails Off-Road information that shows you the obstacle in different angles, shows you how they got up it, what they think is the easiest, hardest lines, all that kind of stuff. That's good information. That's high quality trail information. And from a Trails app, that's what you want. All right, guys, as we drive around this area, let me show you how I use Trails Off-Road. Now, I use Trails Off-Road's Follow Me feature on my old burner phone. Now, this phone has no cell phone coverage, nothing. It hasn't been used in a long time, yet I have the guide completely fine on this, and it's popping up just as I'm going around, and I'm going to this new overlook I've never seen before. So I'm gonna be using the guide as we do that. And I just absolutely love this follow me mode. It's really great. It helps me when I'm making trail guides for you, because I can actually tell you about the obstacles as I come up, because right now I'm in a scenic section and it is definitely scenic here. And I didn't have to do anything on my phone. It's just automatically up there as I'm going. And that is a game-changing feature in my book. All right, guys, let's talk about the discovery feature of the two apps. Now, we are currently in Grand Junction, so we'll just use that as that'll give us some information. Now, if you look at Trails Off-Road versus OnX, it may look like that OnX has more trail information, or at least more trails, than Trails Off-Road does. But the difference here is that Trails Off-Road actually ran all the trails there, and it's high quality information that they have on the trails that they show. Now, if you watched my OnX versus GAIA video, you'll realize that GAIA actually has all this information that OnX has on their map in that. So I use GAIA and Trails Off-Road together. Now, if I was just caring about trail information, I'd absolutely use Trails Off-Road over OnX, because OnX is not gonna let you find the best trails. OnX is gonna have, you know, bad information or just basic information on crappy trails. I actually encountered this in Tennessee, which we'll discuss some of the new filming with the Liberty a little bit later. All right, guys, so I have come to 94A. This is the route that I thought I'd be able to take to Irwin, because on OnX it shows the route is going all the way through. You know, I don't like the software, there's no doubt about it, but I need to explain that I've had issues using it. I am a trail guide making off-road YouTuber, and most recently I remember being out in the Jeep Liberty, and I'm doing a trail that there's no real information on. I got this information from local knowledge using a Facebook group, and I was really excited to do the trail, but I ended up using OnX as my map software that day. That's one reason why I did the OnX versus GAIA video, because generally I always looked at OnX as map software. It wasn't very good for finding out if a trail was actually good. Well, the map showed the trail going all the way through, which would have probably cut out a couple hours out of my day. That's the problem with OnX. OnX doesn't have very good information. All right, guys, let's talk about offline maps. Now, I did touch on this in the GAIA versus OnX video, but I think offline maps have been completely innovated by Trails Off-Road. Let me explain. Now, with OnX or GAIA, they are map software, and you're gonna have to know what area you are wheeling, you know, and have that map downloaded before you get out there and lose cell phone coverage. Now, what Trails Off-Road did, let's just take the San Juans, for example, the Alpine Loop. All I have to do with Trails Off-Road is have Colorado downloaded, and it gives me all the trails, all the stuff that they have on Colorado trails, including all of the San Juans. So that way, when I got on the Alpine Loop with the Fearless Trailhawk, we were able to go explore, and we did not have to have a set route on how we use it. We will explain that more when we do an Alpine Loop trail guide, but basically there's multiple ways to get on and off the Alpine Loop, and we didn't have to think about that prior to wheeling it. We had all that information thanks to Trails Off-Road and their downloaded maps that you do one time, you know, whenever, and you have that information, all their information on the trails. It's an absolute game changer in my opinion. Trail reviews are key in Colorado and key other places. It just gives you ideas. What's going on the trail? Is there a washout? Is there a rock slide? Is there snow still on the trail? And Trails Off-Road has been doing this for quite some time. I've left a few, my buddies leave a few. There's great trail reviews from users like me and other off-roaders on Trails Off-Road, and it's just very great for, you know, getting additional information that's not in the guide. Now, I do know OnX has recently adopted them. On Dome Plateau, there isn't any on OnX. There is 27 on Trails Off-Road. I will see what their OnX reviews are like, but I'm assuming because it's a newer feature, it's just not going to be out there as much. But you're going to get better information from Trails Off-Road because the people using Trails Off-Road are actually knowledgeable, skilled off-roaders, you know, everyday off-roaders. So they know what you need to know, and they are really good about putting photos and all kinds of cool stuff in there so you have a good idea of what that trail is like. I even have put some of my videos in those reviews, so. All right guys, if you've been following the channel, you know I have a Jeep Liberty. However, this year I've been struggling with it overheating, and it's been a bit of a frustration for me. But recently I did an overheat test on Unica Mountain, which the information's up there on the screen right now. As you can see, OnX has really good information on Unica Mountain. Trails Off-Road only has a scouting guide, but the scouting guide I still think is very useful. Now, this is what's going on with Trails Off-Road. Trails Off-Road is a small company based out of Colorado, but they're trying to cover all of the United States. So when they go to Tennessee, they're trying to cover the more popular areas, the more popular trails, and that includes Windrock Off-Road Park. It has been 10 years since I have wheeled Windrock, but I absolutely want to take the Jeep Liberty in there, so I am so thankful that Trails Off-Road is documenting Windrock, so when the Jeep Liberty stops overheating, I'll be able to take it in there and I'll have a good idea if my Jeep Liberty is going to survive Windrock thanks to Trails Off-Road. But there is some good information from OnX, as you can see from Unica Mountain, and you will see how often my Jeep Liberty overheated when I make that trail guide using it. Now granted, we have much more aggressive trails with the Liberty from before it started overheating, and those will be coming out. All right guys, so Zach, Drew, and I got our classics out, those right there, and we went on Transfer Trail. We had an absolute blast. That video is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to show it to you. But that brings me up to technical ratings. If you look at Transfer Trail's technical rating, OnX gives it a 6 out of 10. Now they gave Fins and Things a 4 out of 10. And this is one of the biggest frustrations I've had with OnX, even from the beginning. OnX used to have all Funtrex guides for their featured trails, and they were great because the Funtrex information was great. They'd have a difficulty rating from Funtrex, and then they would have this technical rating that was just seemed way off, because I've done a lot of the trails I was looking at, and I was looking at like, this is not right. And you know, we can say, well, you're being nitpicky, you're doing that, but this is the problem. I think OnX is really good, maybe beginner software. I think those are the people that are using it. So to me, it's frustrating to see off technical ratings. You know, someone might do a 6 and it was easy for them, and then they go look and see a 4 that's not really a 4, do that, and then get into trouble. To me, it's critical that if you're providing trail information that you're accurate with it. That's why these trail guides that we make take more time, because I make sure that they're accurate, because I don't want you guys having bad information. All right guys, so on the lines of quality of information, let's talk about Poughkeepsie Gulch. Now I know I didn't say it right in the trail guide, probably didn't say it right there. I'm sorry, it's the dyslexia, it's horrible. It's not very good for an off-road host. Because we filmed that trail twice, one with the TJ, one with the JL. They're probably gonna be separate videos because there's different stories to them, but I digress. Let's look at the quality of information. Let's look who submitted the guide of Poughkeepsie Gulch. Now, if you look at Trails Off-Road, you'll see it is TJ, and you can look at his information. You can kind of get an idea of who he is from what's there. You can see the vehicles he has, and it gives you some confidence that the guy that actually made this guide knows what he's doing. Now, if you look at OnX, you'll see it's from someone named Jeeping the USA. Nothing against Jeeping in the USA. I don't know who they are. I can't find any information on them. So for me, it's harder for me to trust the OnX guide because I have no information on who submitted it. And that's one of the biggest issues with OnX, is it's user submitted guides. So there's a variety of us, there's differences of us, so you're going to get different quality of guides based on who submitted it, but it helps to know who submitted it. Why are they rating it this way? Why are they doing it this way? And it's just something OnX struggles with. It's something that could be better on them, and I really prefer just having the access to the person that wrote the guide. You can even ask them questions in Trails Off-Road. I just think Trails Off-Road has a better way of being transparent with their guides. Again, I'm not trying to throw the OnX YouTubers under the bus. I just think it's not great software, and I think it's, you know, you would be much better served being, you know, pitched Trails Off-Road or GAIA because it's really good stuff. And in fact, my favorite YouTuber would probably not be getting lost as much as he does if he used GAIA or Trails Off-Road on the trails.
You got it. You got it. It's easier going up.
All right, guys, let's briefly talk about the founders. Probably not important, but I think it's valid. You know, their information's up there on the screen right now. Both seem like good dudes, but you can clearly see the OnX founder was all about hunting. He's passionate about hunting. That is awesome, but that's his passion. Where the Trails Off-Road founder is about off-roading. That's why it's a superior off-road app. Trails Off-Road is for off-roaders. OnX was for hunters. That has been adopted, you know, to fit off-roading, fit, you know, off-roaders. All right, guys, now we get a ton of requests to get this trail guide edited, and thankfully Drew is working on it. It is Mount Blanca. That should be the next trail guide published on this channel, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But while I show you some clips from that trail guide, let's talk about who these apps are for, or at least who I think these apps are for. Now, if you're trying to be the ultimate off-roader, overlander, adventurer, or whatever, then I would have them all. I'd have everything, because there is good and bad with every app, every different kind of media that you could use to help you out there on the trails. But if you're trying to be smart about it and you only want the best bang for your buck, then I would get Trails Off-Road and GAIA. Those two work together so well, and they really help you out. Now, if you're just an off-roader, you just care about off-road trails, then I would just get Trails Off-Road. That's all you would need. Now, if you are more camping focused and you just want to have good maps and know if the trail is okay for your vehicle, then you could get by with just GAIA. But I still think the ultimate combination is GAIA and Trails Off-Road together. Now, for OnX, you know I'm biased. I know I don't like the software. I think I have good, valid reasons for not liking the software, but you know, it might be okay for you. I think it's better for newer off-roaders, beginners. It has mapping capabilities and it has trail information. So if you're looking for just basics of those two, OnX has it. Now, my frustration that makes it really hard for me to get behind it is just the discrepancy of those trail guides having technical ratings that are all over the place. That's one reason I'm not a big fan of OnX. Plus, I have encountered bugs as running it. It hasn't been great software for me, but it might be good software for you. But that's what I'm thinking in terms of these apps and what I would recommend. All right, guys, I'm coming to you from day 3 of me filming this video. It's been a little crazy for me. I just got sent out of Grand Junction back to Denver. So that means I'm back in that camper and I am making my way over there, and I think I found camp for tonight because I got 3 bars. It's gonna be good. But I forgot to talk about pricing in the previous video. So on the screen right now is the pricing of OnX and Trails Off-Road. And unfortunately, it looks like OnX is the winner here. Or are they? So after filming Dome Plateau, at Dome Plateau, I reached out to Trails Off-Road because I just realized how superior the software was. And to combat all these other YouTubers giving out discount codes to OnX and all this other stuff, I asked Trails Off-Road if we could do something like that, thinking that it was not going to be a chance, but they ended up giving me a discount. I don't even know what the deal is. I don't ever do this kind of stuff, but we have a discount for Trails Off-Road, and I believe that brings it cheaper than OnX. So win for Trails Off-Road on price. Just use that discount code and it'll give you a cheaper deal. All right, guys, I want to end the video with a useful example. Now, as I said, I'm being transferred from Grand Junction to Denver. I did not plan on where I would go. I just needed somewhere with cell phone reception. I saw that I had 5 bars down on I-70 at this area, and I saw that there was trails here by looking at my Trails Off-Road map. And then I was able to click on it and see that I had this cool backdrop because I was using the guide, and I saw that they had pictures of this, and I was like, this would be a cool thing to end at. But I have no cell phone reception right now, yet I still have full functionality of Trails Off-Road because I downloaded Colorado, weeks ago. So I had this trail already on there, and I didn't have to think about this area, because even though I have cell phone reception at my campsite down there at the bottom, I don't have enough cell phone reception to be downloading a map, or if I try to download it, it would take a long time. I didn't have to think about it at all. I just drove up here looking for this, and I'm going to go up further because I want to check out this trail network. There's also a harder trail over there called Grizzly Gulch with some water crossings that I'm probably going to check out. Maybe we'll do a trail guide on this. But, you know, I think Trails Off-Road is useful. Like, I just ran into a guy driving a Volvo on this, and he said he wouldn't do this again.
Hi, I totally wouldn't do this trail in this vehicle because it's way too rough.
So you see that Trails Off-Road might actually be useful for even non-off-roaders trying to get to a really awesome 14er like this one. So maybe if you're into hiking and you want to get to the trailheads but don't have the most capable vehicle, Trails Off-Road might be for you. But that's enough from me on Trails Off-Road. I think it's awesome. If you want to see my best mapping software up there, click there. If you want to see a trail guide, click over there. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.